Hi everyone and welcome. Today we're going to start on our backs. So take your time to lie down and get comfortable. You might want to bend your knees and have your feet flat on the floor just to release that lower back area and stay really comfortable there, okay? So just let yourself sink down into the floor and just notice the sensations in the body. So you may feel the sensation on the back of your head as it is touching the floor. Maybe you feel something at the back of the shoulders, maybe at the hips, and maybe in the feet. And just notice what the mat feels like underneath you. And let's just take a few breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes. Allowing yourself to sink down into the mat. Feeling a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of softness, and a little bit of letting go of the rest of the day. Just be here for a few moments, letting go. So from this position on your back, just stay where you are. If your knees aren't bent, see if you can bend them and have the feet on the floor. And we're all just going to bring our hands to our bellies. And feel free to keep your eyes closed while you're here. So with the hands nice and low on the belly, we're going to really try to focus our breath nice and low as well. So on a nice deep inhale, see if you can really fill the torso and feel the hands rising with the belly. And when you let go of the breath, see if you can feel the hands lowering as well with the belly. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Letting the breath go, letting the belly button really fall to the spine. Inhale again. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Good, and just release your hands. Let's straighten the legs. We're going to widen the legs a little bit and open up the arms so that you're in a star pose position. So reach through the heels, reach through the fingers, and just get a really nice big wide stretch and then let it go. Good, and let's do that again. Reach through the heels, drop the belly down and reach through the fingers. See how wide you can get, and then release again. Nice, good work. Okay, let's bring the feet back together, and in fact you can bend the knees again and just have that sacrum nice and flat on your mat. So your hands are going to be just beside your hips, and you can start with your palms facing up, and we're just going to do a little more breath here. So a nice kind of angel arm positioning. We're going to inhale and just slide the arms along the floor overhead, reaching beyond the head, and then on your exhale, slide them back down by the hips. Again, inhale, taking the arms up overhead. Exhale, letting them go, taking the hands back down. Good. Inhale, reaching up. See if you can really reach through the fingers to get lots of length. And exhale, take the hands back down. Now just make sure your feet are rooted, that tailbone is rooted down, and this time drop the belly button down towards the floor. Inhale again, so you're really rooted down, but you're lifting those arms up and stretching. Exhale, take the hands down. Now let's do that a few more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Nice. Good. And let's just bring the knees into the chest. Give them a nice hug. And just rock side to side a little bit. Just to loosen up the hips, that lower back a little bit. Really nice. Okay, so keeping the back nice and flat on the ground, just drop your tailbone a little, and you're going to take your hands to the floor, but lift up the feet and the knees. So the knees should be really in line with the hips as much as you can. The calves are parallel with the floor. So we're getting into a little bit of core here, a little bit of the center area. So really be conscious, dropping that belly down towards the floor so that everything's really solid here and your hands are right beside you. Now just slowly you're going to drop the right toe down towards the floor and then lift it back up. Left toe dropping down, lift it back up. Easy, right? Simple, I mean. Simple. Maybe not so easy. Lower the left toes. The first couple are okay, but then you can probably really feel the action in the core. Drop the left and take it back. Right and take it back. Is your belly button still dropping down towards the floor? Keep that all engaged. So the center isn't moving, it's really engaged, really strong as you drop one toe at a time down towards the floor. Oh, just a couple more, I promise. Ooh, one more on each side. Right and left. Good. Again, let's hug those knees in. And just rock side to side a little bit. And then just create some circles with the knees. So your hands can stay on your knees in this position, or you can have your hands on the floor to create bigger circles, if you like. Good, and then go the opposite direction. Good, nice big circles. Excellent, and then bringing those knees back in, we're just going to do a little bit of rocking forward and back, some spinal rocks. So come forward and back, you might start really small, and then create bigger rocks. So maybe you can take the feet way over your head, and maybe up to the floor. Keep breathing though, try not to hold your breath here. Nice. And then come all the way up. You're going to cross your legs and come all the way over to a tabletop position. Excellent. So spreading those fingers, lifting up the belly again so your back is nice and flat. We're just going to do some circles here. So leaning forward and to the side and the back. So keep the shoulders quite loose, the hips also quite loose, and that head is just able to flop around a little bit. And let's create these nice big circles. Opening up the hips, opening up the torso a little bit. Good, let's go the other direction. Good, just letting everything be really kind of loose as you create these nice circles. Your elbows are soft as well. You don't need to keep them stiff. You want to be able to move the center area, so you need the shoulders and the elbows to be pretty soft. And then come back to center. And let's lift up to a cat position, angry cat. So lift the belly, round the back. See if you can lift it up towards the ceiling. Drop the chin down and drop that tailbone down. Good. You can even just allow the head to rock side to side a little bit. And then come back to neutral. And now we're going to lift this right knee. So see if you can lift the knee up towards the chest and then start rounding the back again. So coming back into that cat position but with the knee up. So you're lifting up, you're rounding. Good. And then you're going to take the gaze forward. And let's take this right foot forward between the hands. Feel free to use your hand to get your leg there. Good. You're going to lean forward a little bit. Keep that left foot nice and solid on your mat. And let's open up the shoulders and open up the heart to the front. So you can look forward. You can drop down through those hips if you like to go a little deeper. Otherwise, you keep the hips back a little. Okay, so you go where you can. And then let's lift up the hands towards that leg. Same thing here. You can stay up depending on how tight you're feeling. Or you might be able to really drop down through the hips, lifting that heart, opening the shoulders, and really opening up the front, the hip flexor, the hips in general. Keep breathing here. Good. Let's come forward, take the hands back down, and we're going to come back to our tabletop position and just let the hips kind of flow side to side. Good. So now we're going to come back into our cat position. So round the back, pressing down through the hands, pressing into the tops of the feet. Drop that chin towards the chest, drop the tailbone, and come back to neutral. And then same thing on this side, lift the left knee up towards your chest, and then come into that cat position again. Rounding the back, lifting up, 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 up. Staying nice and round. Good. Now take the gaze forward and let's bring the left foot between the hands. So this side might feel a little different. So you might need to just adjust as necessary, right? Let's open up the shoulders though. Take the heart forward. And if you want, you can drop those hips down a little bit more and lift the gaze to go deeper. Or you can back off a little bit and just really feel that opening wherever you're feeling it, in the hips, in the shoulders, and just keep breathing here. And then we're going to lift up into a little bit of a higher lunge. And you can stay high or you can drop those hips low, really opening up the front of the hip here. Good. If you want, you can even lift the gaze just to go a little deeper. Make sure you keep breathing into it to allow some release to happen, right? Nice. Good, and let's bring the hands back down. And we're going to come back to our tabletop position and all the way down into cat. So open up the knees, drop the hips, and let's lift up onto our fingertips, okay? So don't worry about crawling forward too much. But lift onto the fingertips, drop the tailbone back, and drop your head down towards the ground. You might have a cushion or something underneath. And then really press into the fingertips to open up the upper back. You might feel it opening in the armpits as well. Breathe here. Really breathe into it. Good. And then we're going to bring ourselves back up to our tabletop position. So this time we're going to come into a cow position. So drop the belly. Let's lift the chin and lift the tailbone. Really feel the opening in the heart and the opening in the shoulders. So the shoulders are dropping away from those ears. Breathe here. Good. Let's come back to our cat position. So lift up and lift the knee at the same time. Look forward and bring the foot between the hands. Lifting up again, but this time we won't stay too long. We'll come up to the leg. Good. Looking forward. Now this time, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Again, you can stay up or you can drop down, right? This time you're going to take this left elbow across the right leg and bring the palms together for a really nice twist. Press the right hand down into the left one. Lift that torso up away from the leg. And then if you can, you might look over your right shoulder and breathe here. So both feet are active. You're pressing down gently into the mat. You're lifting up, and don't forget you're breathing, right? Keep that breath nice and long and smooth. Awesome. Let's come back down here, back to our tabletop position. You can just swish out again, just side to side, come back to neutral. And let's go back to our cow position, dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone and the chin, lifting that heart, opening the shoulders. Feel a nice opening through the front of the body, but you're also working a little bit of a back bend here too. Good, let's come back to cat. Lifting up, lifting that left knee with you. Take the gaze forward, take the left foot forward, and then drop down, but lift up at the same time. Take the hands to the leg. Good. Lift the right arm this time. And again, you can be up or you can drop those hips way down. The right elbow comes across the left leg this time. Hands together. Put a little pressure from that left hand into the right and lift up your torso. Good. Trying to sort of stay away from the thigh, and then you could drop the gaze over to your left shoulder and breathe here. Just remember to keep breathing, keeping solid through those feet. Nice breath. Good. And take the gaze forward again, take the hands down, back to our tabletop position, and let's just swish the hips once again. Good. So we're going to tuck our feet. We're going to come up into downward dog. We won't stay here too long, but because you've been on your hands and knees, just kind of walk the dog out a little. And then we're going to walk our hands to our feet. So bend the knees, keep the feet a little bit open. Now, if you can, really bend your knees and grab your toes, however you can. So the peace fingers are on the inside of the big toe, the thumb wraps around. Now we're going to really inhale and lift up the heart. You can keep the knees bent here if you like. Press the elbows out to the side and drop your head down. Padangusthasana. This is a forward fold. So you can bend your knees here, keeping them bent, letting the head stay loose. Or you can keep lifting that tailbone up and really dropping the head down as you press the elbows out to the side. But breathe here, right? Keep the breath going. Good. Nice. And then release. And we're slowly going to come all the way up to standing. Good. Lifting the gaze. Rolling the shoulders. Nice. Okay. Wherever you may be, keep the feet a little bit open. We're going to lift up the arms overhead. And then just open them up to the side, just shoulder height. So reaching out both sides. Good, so you're rooting down through the feet. We're going to come into a balance, so you may want a wall nearby. Let's lift up the right knee and just find that focus. Arms out, focus forward. Now we're going to start leaning, so bring that right foot back and start leaning the torso forward. Keep the arms where they are and reach the foot back. Oh yes, warrior three. Come on back up, lifting the knee up in front of you, and then you're going to drop again. So don't worry about how high your leg goes. Just think about pressing it back wherever it might be. And that might be touching the toes to the floor, right? Let's do another one, leaning forward. Let's see if we can hold here for a few breaths. Reaching back with the foot, forward with the head, out with the hands, like you're flying. And you're looking down over the fields as you're flying around. Good. Bring yourself back up. and the leg down and drop those arms. And you can just roll the shoulders out a little. Good. Same on the other side. Rooting down through the feet. Let's lift the arms overhead. Inhale. And then exhale, open up those arms out to the side. Good. So now on this side, we're going to root down through the right foot. Lift up the left knee. Breathing here. Good. Finding that focus. And then when you're ready, tuck that right foot back and lean forward, pressing the foot back behind you. Good. Inhale, come back up, lifting the knee. Exhale, you're leaning forward. Again, you can use the wall. You can touch the toe to the floor. Do what you can. Maybe you work up to this nice balance here. One more time, leaning forward, reach out through the fingers. Press back through that foot and reach forward with the top of the head. Breathe here, you're looking down, pretending you're a bird. Enjoying the scenery. Good, come on back up again, lift that knee, and then take the foot down and the arms down. Awesome, and just shake side to side a little bit. You can shimmy, you can shake out the arms. Nice. Okay, so just to sort of relieve those shoulders, because we've been in tabletop and just had our arms out to the side, let's open up this area a little bit. So let's reach the right arm out. You're going to bend the elbow with the thumb down and take your hand behind you, so behind your back. Good. Now think about releasing that shoulder. Just drop it down a little bit. The left hand just on the leg for now, reaching the fingers down, and then open up the shoulder. So drop the left ear over to the left shoulder and breathe here, feeling that opening. Now see if you can, maybe even holding on to your arm with your right fingers and opening up that right shoulder, opening up the heart. And then if you look down a little bit, keeping the ear over to the left, you're going to feel more of a stretch. Breathing here. Good. And then lift back up. And then maybe you look up to the ceiling. Good. Continuing to open, come back to center, and then release. Good. Let's do the same with the other side. So lifting the arm out, turn the thumb down, bend the elbow, and take the hand behind your back. Good. This arm just comes down to your leg, and tip the right ear over to the right shoulder. So trying to keep softness in this left shoulder, right? Dropping it down. Again, you might be able to hold on to your arm with your hand, allowing that left shoulder to open and the heart to lift a little bit more. Good. Breathing here. And same thing, you might want to try dropping the head forward a little bit, keeping it tilted but looking down slightly just to get into the neck a little more. You can also do this in a seated position. Feels good. Good. Come on back up. And let's see about looking up towards the ceiling. Good. Breathing and feeling the opening. Good. Let's come back to center. Release. Good. And just roll the shoulders a little bit. Really nice. Good. Okay, let's just open the feet a little bit here. Toes pointing forward, hands on the hips. Let's lift up nice and tall, and then we're going to lean forward. So feel free to bend your knees or keep them straight, taking your hands down to the ground. So you're really rooting through the feet. Lift up the lower belly and drop the tailbone back and keep the shoulders open. So already you're coming into a really nice forward fold here. Now see if you can slide the hands back. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to. Slide the hands in between the feet and see if you can drop your head down towards the floor. If you're a little more flexy, you might open the legs and really drop your head right to the floor, but you sure don't have to. Bend your elbows And think about squeezing those elbows in towards each other. Just breathe here. Good. Feel the breath and the opening in the backs of the legs. Again, something nice for everyone to do is to bend your knees a little bit. Really drop the hips down, and you might stay here with a nice loose head. Or lift the tailbone up. You can start lifting and straightening the legs to go deeper into the pose. Breathe here. Good. Let's release that looking up. Good. Softening your knees, lifting yourself up to standing. Again, rolling the shoulders. And then just heel toe the feet back to the center. And you can just shake things out. Awesome. Okay, back to the front of our mats. Let's lift up our arms again. Reach up and lift the heart. Good, and then fold forward. Taking the hands down, dropping your head. Good, lift yourself up. And let's just take one foot back to the knee, the other foot back to the knee. You can sit back and then come on to a seated position. Good. Let's just have the legs out in front and shake side to side. Awesome. Rolling the shoulders a little. Perfect. Okay, one more little hip opener before we come down onto our backs. Let's come into Baddha Konasana, one of my favorites. So if you need support, you can sit on a cushion. You can have cushions under your knees. Sometimes that really helps. You can be up as high as you like. So see if you can open up those feet, lift up through the heart, and we're going to lean forward. And this is not about how far you go forward. This is about trying to keep the spine a little bit longer. So drop those sit bones down, reach up through the top of the head. Inhale, exhale, and lean and breathe here. Good. Feel the opening. Feel the breath slowing down a little bit. Nice and deep. Good. And then come on back up. Let's lift the knees. Give yourself a hug. And from that position, roll yourself back down onto your backs. And let's do another star pose. So reaching those feet away really nice and wide. Opening up the arms nice and wide. Reach through the fingers, the toes, the heels, whatever you got. Reach, 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 and then release. Again, let's reach through the feet, through the hands. Get as wide as you possibly can. And release. And perhaps you just stay here in Shavasana. Or you might want to just shift so that your knees are bent and the back is flat on the ground. You can open up the feet and drop the knees in. Or maybe you have a couch nearby and you can rest your feet on the couch. So just find that position that really can work for you. Maybe you need a cushion under your head, or maybe you need to lie on your side today because the back just isn't going to work. Wherever you are, see if you can really let go and sink down and release that practice. Release the breath, allowing it to slow down. Allowing it to fill the torso again. Soften the eyes, soften the jaw. Relax the shoulders and the arms and the hands. Relax across the belly and the hips and the lower back. Soften the legs, let them just flop open, along with the feet and the softening of the toes. here for as long as you need to feel relaxation, to get the benefit of rest. Enjoy how the body's feeling. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.